What's up, heathens? Rev Avi checking in live. Magic quarantine talk. What is going on? Give people a chance to get on here and we will get started. Okay? Get my comments going. Boom. What's up, everybody? Whoop. Let me get this. Light my candle. I don't know how the hell I always forget to do that. So, what's going on? What's going on, people? Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to talk about today. Hey, what's up, Erica? I think we're going to talk about, let's talk about the Book of Shadows, the importance of that, okay? Because I don't think people are really grasping the importance of the Book of Shadows, okay? And that's very, very important. So, with that said, that is what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about the Book of Shadows, what it is, its real purpose, okay? And why it is so goddamn important that everyone have one of these, have a notebook, have several of them, and really keep track of your magical practices, ritual work, and just everyday sort of journaling and stuff like that, okay? With that said, I'm going to run over here and grab some of mine, okay, that I have sort of just hanging around, and I will show you guys some of mine. I'm not going to let you see inside because I write some very personal stuff in there. But I will show you that I have a lot of them. Hang on. Okay, so just with a quick run over there, coming back, I found my very first one, actually, that I ever made. It actually says spells on it. I don't know if you can see that. It says spells on there. And I actually made this when I was like, God, 12 years old or something like that. Or I'll let you peek in here, why not? But this is really, really, really old. I mean, I've had this book for a long time, you know. I've got stuff in here like how to bless a Ouija board. See, I was doing this stuff when I was a teenager, guys. I've got, it's just a whole, it's packed full of stuff in here, okay? Just memories and great stuff, okay? You said it's not letting you tag people. Weird, 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 weird. I don't know. Maybe they'll get on. Maybe they won't. They'll have to watch it later. And here's another one. Just a standard composition notebook. I actually stole this from my sister. She joined the group today, and her name is actually still on here. But I stole it many, many years ago, and now it is full of my personal stuff. And then here's a really big one. A really big journal. It's a nice, big, thick one I've had for many years. You can see the watermarks and shit on there. I've had it a long time. So you should have journals. You should have books. You should have books of shadows. You should have stuff where you're writing things down. Okay? Let me put these down. Okay, so why? Let's talk about the why, because that's the important part, is the why, right? Why are we writing stuff down? Why do Book of Shadows matter? Why does any of it matter? Okay? It matters because when you write things down, your ideas and your thoughts down, okay, you can revisit them, okay? And I talked about this before. Not only is it a place for you to put magic spells and to remember stuff, you know, but memories. Your Book of Shadows is basically like the logbook of your subconscious mind. Okay? We're all people. So 15 years from now, you know, 20 years from now, you're not going to remember everything you did today, okay? Or yesterday. Or hell, try to think of something you did a couple months from now, you know? Or a couple months before now. You know, that type of shit goes from your conscious mind. It can only remember so much. So by having those memories and, you know, even just journaling every day and writing down your experiences, you're going to learn a ton about yourself. Okay. Another funny thing that you learn, okay, that a lot of people don't know, and they're doing those, like I talk about the demonic ends and the magic spells in Latin and, some ancient language and stuff like that. That's all fantastic. But here's the thing, it's not your native tongue, okay? It's not your native tongue. It's something you had to teach yourself, and it's something you're probably only going to use for that magic spell or whatever you're using it for, even if you used it daily, okay? Let's say you let it go, and then years from now, you go back and you're like looking in your spell book, okay, and you wrote down the ends and everything, right? But let's say you use some ancient language that you taught yourself or whatever, and you look back in there years from now, you may not even fucking remember that shit. Any of it. So now you got to teach yourself that fucking ancient language all over again just to read your own book. Okay? So that's where this type of stuff that I'm talking about, it really should start to hit home why you should be doing spells and stuff in your native tongue. Okay? You should be journaling in your native tongue. You should be talking and your spell work and all of that stuff should be in your native tongue. Okay? Because, like I said, the subconscious mind is that mind that you talk to yourself inside your head with. When you get pissed off and stuff like that, and you're in a situation where you can't scream out loud, some of us do it anyway, but when you can't, let's say, scream out loud at someone, that voice in your head activates and you go, fuck, and it's in your mind. That's the voice of the subconscious mind, okay? And it doesn't speak fucking Sumerian. It doesn't speak those ancient languages. Even if you teach it to yourself, it'll go in there, but you won't be able to consciously recall it, when you need to. And so it becomes these books and journals and stuff like that become a real part of your life, okay? It gives you a chance to look back on your life. You could, if you would have started when you were a kid and then became an adult, you could have went back and, almost had a whole conversation with kid you and saw what your mind was like back then, okay? It's another way to relive your life, okay? So it's very important. It's very, very important to log those things in there. That's the purpose of the Book of Shadows. It's not just some book where you should have spells and rituals and herbs and stuff. Like, all that stuff should be in there, but you should have real life information and stuff about yourself, the people you meet. Okay, you could have wrote down those kids that were your best friends or whatever when you were kids, and you forgot who they were or something like that. Those names could be in there. Okay. So that's where Books of Shadows and journaling and stuff like that becomes very, very powerful with reliving that type of stuff, okay? Also, it's a way of outletting. So if you are really stressed or, depressed or going through some shit and you need an outlet, you'd be surprised at how good writing is at giving you an outlet to let that pent-up emotional energy out, okay? Now let me look at some of these comments. I can't live without writing everything down. It's Danielle. That's good, man. That's the way it should be. You should be writing everything down. Then Erica, I can. I don't have to write everything down. Some people don't like it. Some people just don't like it. If you're one of those people where you don't like writing everything down, do voice messages. Do voice journaling. Try that. Just try talking into a voice recorder or something like that. You might start to like it. You surprise yourself. It's something that a lot of successful people actually do. Okay. But yeah. So that's the importance of the Book of Shadows. So I figured I would touch on that because it is such an important tool that you should not overlook it. Okay. You shouldn't overlook it. It's easy to get caught up in everyday life and stuff like that. But when it all boils down, all knowledge is contained in books. Okay. So it's very powerful. You got to use it. It's powerful. Okay. So, and if you don't want to do that, try videos, try something, you need a way to record your feelings. I can't stress that enough. It's hard to relive your feelings when you don't remember them. Okay. Or you can't remember spot on what happened in every detail of your life, and nobody can do that, and recall it with absolute clarity and remember everything. So journaling gives you a way to do that. Okay. All right, so let's move on to some more magic topics. We've talked about the Book of Shadows. It's important, right? What were we talking about yesterday, guys? Does anybody remember? I think I was talking about invocation, evocation, something like that. And so let's kind of go back and try to keep these in a sort of organized pattern, okay? So we get new people in here, maybe they could watch the videos in order, possibly, and get some understanding, because they're all kind of been jumping around with different topics and stuff like that. So yesterday we talked about invocation and evocation last, okay? And how to get the different types of ritual phenomena to occur and whatnot. Hang on, let me look at these comments. It's going to be very, 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 very hard for me to do this. To do what? But why? I just can't get it. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what Erica's talking about. Anyway, how to get the different type of magical phenomena to occur. Okay, and we're talking about being able to feel energy, feel spirits, see spirits, smell them, have that one-on-one with the Dark Lord himself, if that is your goal. Okay, how do we get to that point? And that is going to come from directly being able to affect our subconscious minds. Okay, so we need to be able to get into a deep enough state of trance, okay, to get the correct messages in, to then get those results to come out. Okay, now I talk about this over and over and over. So let me talk about what it's going to take to do that. Okay, what is it going to take to do that? All right, it's going to take practice. Okay, you're gonna have to grow some courage, summon up that power within yourself and the courage within yourself to practice this stuff. Okay, those of you who have my books, that are out there, especially the new one, Mesmerism, some of you have picked it up, some of you are waiting on copies, but there are people that have the PDFs. Okay, inside of there, I literally tell you verbatim the things that I say and do with people, okay, to get them to have magical phenomena occur. Okay, and I was talking about like the fake exorcism and stuff like that. I don't talk about the exorcism in that book, but there are some very other interesting examples of things in there once you get further into the book, okay, of different type of phenomena that you could go out and try for yourself on people, okay, and see how it works. So it's what's up, dude? What's up, Asen? It's very powerful information. It's very powerful stuff, and like I said, I don't think anyone else is teaching the occult in quite the way that I have managed to be doing in these last few years here. Hang on. I struggle big time with trance. Okay, yeah. The main reason, let's talk about trance. I'm gonna go back. Let's back up a little bit here. Okay, so let's talk about trance. Everybody's struggling with trance. The reason is you got to understand what trance is. Okay, got to understand what it is. All right. Once you understand what it is, which is, and let me give you the definition. It is an altered state of consciousness. Okay, that's all a trance is. So that means, and let me clarify it, that means every time you eat something, it puts you in an altered state, right? It changes the way you feel. When you breathe deeply, that can change the way you feel, right? You could be happy, and then someone bumps into you, right? And then you get pissed off, changes the way you feel, an altered state of consciousness. All of these things are trance, okay? Now, there's different kinds of trance. Now, let's get more specific here. There's different kinds of trance. What you need is to get a deep trance, and this goes into understanding the levels or the waves of the mind, okay? We need to get from alpha, okay, down to theta, okay? So we want to get the brainwave frequencies to start to slow down. Okay, the brain is giving out really massive, fast waves when you're, alert and conscious and ready. We want to slow that down, okay? And then as you slow down the process of the brain waves, you get towards theta. When you get in theta state, and you don't need to have some type of machine to measure and etc. You can do this by testing, and I talk about this in my book. There's ways you can test to see how far or how deep you are in trance. Um, you test, and then you figure out how deep you are. Once you get to that point where your mind is taking suggestions for sure, and you know that it's going to work, you give the right suggestion. Okay, and that's how you use trance. That's it. That it's nothing. There's no, super duper sit around meditate for 10 million years to make it work. People can go in trance in 5 seconds, super duper deep, and I mean gone into another dimension. So it does not take. It's not something that takes an excessive amount of time. Even though people sit down and meditate for 30 minutes, an hour, and all of that stuff, that's not even necessary at all. I would dare say that those people don't understand trance. They understand the idea of sitting down and meditating for 30 minutes, but they don't understand what trance really is, okay? Because I've definitely put people in 5 seconds or less, okay? It really depends on the person. It depends on their mind, where they are in the current moment when you're dealing with them, okay? But there's definitely people out there, and including you, being able to train yourself to go into trance in less than 5 seconds, okay? So it's something you can make happen. Bam, you're in there. Boom, everything happens the way you want it to. You just have to understand what it is and the process of making it work, okay? So I hope that breaks it down a little bit more for you guys. Let me look at some of these comments. Crowley loved messing with people, walking down the road, screwing with them. Yeah, drugs will do that to you. I can only trance if I dance myself into one. A hassle for evocation. Dude, I dance just to dance, okay? We ain't gonna get started on that. I mean, dance puts you into trance, but the truth is you just gotta understand it, dude. It doesn't take all of that, but I just love to dance, man. You know? That and circle dancing is just fantastic for drawing up energy, okay? I read about that shady. I guess he's talking about Crowley messing with people. And I've done that type of shit too. That's the type of shit you run into in my book. Honestly, when I'm talking about those experiences, is me going out and fucking with people. That's exactly what it is. Some days you're broke and you need a cup of coffee or fucking whatever. So it's time to make the magic work, and that's just it, dude. What's up, Steven? So I mean, it is what it is, people. Could you imagine being homeless and out there on the street and having stuff that you need, And I mean, if you have the ability to magically affect people, then I mean, you should go out and just get the things you need, dude. Why would you starve? Why starve yourself to death? Why struggle to death? You need to go out and get the things that you need. Okay. Another thing that we all need is fucking money. All right. And someone was asking me, like, about teaching and stuff like that, and I'm like, it's great. I love being online and trying to do these lives and stuff like that every day. But the truth is man, if I'm going to teach full time, teaching needs to pay me full time. So if it's not going to make me enough money, then I'm going to have to go get a job somewhere. The teaching's not going to happen like this because I'm going to be fucking busy. I'm so sick of being told to visualize falling off a cliff to get into a trance. Oh my God, visualize falling off a fucking cliff? Don't do that. Don't visualize falling off a cliff, okay? That is not the way to do it. Now, the thing is most people can't even visualize, and that skips the mass majority of people who write books. They always like, you just visualize this and visualize that. Some people can't visualize shit with their eyes closed. You need your eyes open to see shit, And the idea of closing your eyes and then seeing something is just completely retarded. So some people cannot visualize. And that's one of my little tricks with like studying trance and hypnotherapy and that type of stuff and dealing with people and learning about mesmerism. You figure out little tricks around stuff, okay? And one of mine, and I'm going to tell you right here on live, one of my little tricks that I always use with people is I don't like to tell them to visualize shit. I always say, imagine. Imagine, okay? Imagine. People can imagine things. Everyone has an imagination, okay? But not everybody can see. Some people are blind, all right? Odd question. What does a theta brainwave state feeling like? I'm teasing you. Feeling like. What's up, Stephen? Stephen Bogdan. Check it out. So when it comes to trance, some people can't feel anything. Okay? It is an altered state of mind. So, for instance, you could be walking along having a conversation with a friend. You guys are just talking. You're into the conversation. You're focused on it, right? And then you get where you're going. All of a sudden, you're there. You're like, damn, I didn't feel that fucking maybe half a mile block or walk or whatever. Okay? The reason that can happen is because the mind gets laser focused. Okay? So you really can't always know when you're in a trance. Okay, one of the side effects of trance, one of the phenomena that you can produce on purpose when you're dealing with trance is amnesia. Okay, and don't think like amnesia. Oh, I forgot my entire existence or something like that. I mean, it's not exactly like that. It's not like, okay, I lost an hour of time or something like that. It's similar to that. Okay, you could lose time, but also. And this is the thing that's powerful. Also, you could have amnesia about the entire trance experience, period. So you don't even have to realize you're in a trance. I mean, some people don't even know they're going into a trance. I've had people where I've mesmerized them. Actually, I did this to my wife. Okay, when I was first telling her about this stuff, it was many moons ago before we were ever married, and I was telling her about this type of stuff. She didn't believe me. And then I mesmerized her. And I had her sitting there, and we both smoked cigarettes, right? And I told her the cigarette was lit, okay? And I didn't even have a lighter at the time. It was not lit or anything like that. I just told her it was lit and, handed her the cigarette. And she sat there and smoked the cigarette for a good 10 minutes with no smoke, no fire, nothing, okay? Had no idea she was even in a trance. To this day, she'll say, I don't even remember smoking an unlit cigarette, okay?
Sure don't.
So... But she sat there for 10 minutes and smoked it without any fire or smoke or anything like that. So some people don't know that they're even in trance. Okay, so that's a powerful thing. It's really something you have to practice with and experiment with and learn to understand. Okay. Visualize the feeling of falling, Danielle. Oh my God, I hate when they tell you that. What's up, Jera? That's me. I've been frustrated for years because I can't master visualizing. See, and that's why I came up with that little trick, because some people can't visualize, man. So you have to learn how to restructure things, rethink things, okay, and learn how to work with other people's minds, okay? Because everyone's different. I mean, you could even if you mastered yourself, when you go out to try it on other people, there's a whole different ballpark, okay? And then the other thing is if you might learn how to go out and do it on other people, because there's hypnotherapists in the world. It's a known profession, but they only know how to hypnotize other people. They don't know how to apply it to themselves. And then the idea of it being magic is just completely absurd because, they're doctors. They're therapists. They're scientists. So it can't possibly be magic. But it is. Okay, so that's one little way to get around the whole visualizing thing, okay? So if you're working by yourself, how do you get around that? Okay? Let's talk about that a little bit. So if you're working solo dolo, okay, you don't have a partner, okay, and you just can't visualize, and all you got is a book that's telling you to visualize some stupid fucking color or a light or something like that, okay? A way around that is to use feeling, okay? So you want to attempt to try to feel the energy, to feel it, okay? Use something other than sight. You could try to hear it, okay? You could try to smell something, okay? The other thing I like to do is to actually use, and I talk about this in my book, is I use the techniques on myself with my spell work. And that's really super powerful. There's nothing stronger than that, okay? So, I hope that helps, with working with some of that stuff, because I know there's a shit ton of books out there, and they all say visualize, okay? And like I said, some people are blind. They just cannot do the visualizing thing. It's just, the visualizing shit does not work for them, okay? But you have 5 senses, so try another one, Okay. So with that said, let me open up for some questions. Anybody else got any questions? Gonna have a smoke and a pancake. More like a bong and a blitz. Any other questions out there? Insider details needed? Magic and science are one and the same. It's sad how many people don't want to see that. Yeah, that's absolutely right, Jera. Magic will be and is the first and last religion of the world. Period. They're gonna try and label it whatever they want, But the fact is, we had magic first, then we got science second. Magic cigarette from thin air. We had magic first, we had science second, okay? And now science is running into all this unexplainable stuff. It's because it's magic. And the truth is there have always been wizards. Okay? They just changed their names. They evolved with the time. They were wizards and now they're scientists making theories about shit. Okay? So it's all the same thing, man. Can you talk about the AGA? HGA. I don't know what the fuck that is, man. What is the HGA? Refresh my memory. I'm not familiar with that acronym. Higher Guardian Angel. Sure. We talk about that. So the Higher Guardian Angel, which is something that you come across in like Golden Dawn systems and Rosicrucian type stuff. A lot of white right hand path, white magic systems teach about holy higher guardian angels and stuff like that. Okay, this refers to the different levels of consciousness. Okay, it's a representation of that. Okay, you could from a left hand path perspective, you could just look at it as the higher guardian demon, or daemon, or whatever term you prefer, the higher spirit. Okay, whatever you want to call it, the higher power, if you like that one. So this is the super consciousness, okay, the subconsciousness that we're talking about. This higher guardian is the one that makes your heart beat. It's the one that does the automatic stuff. It's the one that keeps you safe, okay? When that car is coming and you're talking and you're about to walk in there and then all of a sudden you stop and realize, oh shit, I almost walked in front of a moving fucking car, okay? It's that automatic thing that protects you, and everybody has that, okay? That higher intelligence, that higher power, that higher being. There's no reason to call it the higher guardian angel. Okay, but if you like that term, by all means adopt it. Okay, but I won't entertain it for too long, frankly, because like I said, I feel like right hand path religions and Christianity and shit like that can be a form of abuse. They've evolved into a form of abuse where they're like forcing people into this stuff, and having a kid that's scared to even get up and go to the bathroom or get out of their bed, and they're crying in the dark because they're scared of the fucking devil, becomes abuse. Okay, so I don't like to associate with that stuff. What about patron demons? Okay, I know that's a bit different from the higher self. So yeah, it's a little bit different. The patron demon, or the patron deity, because demons are gods, right? The patron deity is the one that you choose and that chooses to bless you or initiate you into the path. That's the idea. So it is the one that you are emulating. It is your idol. Okay, that is your patron. That is the idol that you are choosing to emulate. Okay, for me, that is Lucifer and Lilith, the sun and the moon. Okay, that being the sun is the thing that gives everything life and nourishes everything. But if you get caught in the desert, then it will absolutely kill you. Okay, sunburn can absolutely kill you. Okay, so it's not it's nature. It's not necessarily all love and light. It's nature. And then the same thing with the moon. When you get in the dark, there are many things that are dangerous to you, but the light of the moon can protect you because it allows you to see. Okay. But with the patrons, it is specifically the deity that you choose, okay, to represent your path, or your idol that you choose to emulate. Okay. Yep. So that is the patron demon or patron deity. Okay. You could choose whichever one you like. The truth is, it really doesn't matter, because I talked about this before. It doesn't matter if you're atheist or theist. Okay, a lot of people get caught up on this line. I'm an atheist. I'm a theist. You know me. You know, some people. I'm an alcoholic. I'm just kidding. So the thing is, it doesn't matter if you're atheist, and it doesn't matter if you're theist. Okay, because it's law. See, it's called the Hermetic law. Laws are these funny things where they exist, whether you like it or not. If you throw a rock up over your head and you step underneath it, you better believe the law of gravity is going to bring that bitch back down. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. Okay, so that lets you get that understanding of how all of this can work together. Okay, the laws of magic have nothing to do with belief. Okay, people have a mind. We have a brain, and it's left and right brain. Left brain being analytical, right brain being creative. Okay, this is scientific stuff here. So therefore, we can affect one of the other mind. If you make someone get creative, it goes into their right mind. If you make someone start doing a math problem, they have to use their left mind, okay? Or their left brain, I'm sorry, or right brain. Now, the mind is the spirit of the person that inhabits the body, okay? So if you can directly affect someone's mind, you can absolutely get them to have whatever experiences that you desire, okay? If you can get someone's mind to believe it, it will become their reality. And that's the whole thing with religions. I mean, people believe it so deeply, the God, the religion, whatever their religion is, they believe it so deeply in their minds that it becomes their reality. You know, they believe that Jesus is writing their paycheck every 2 weeks or whatever it is. The universe is mental. The universe is of the mind. He's kind of my main focus. I love to work with others, but Lucifer, I have a single dedicated altar for weekly offerings, etc. Yeah. So a lot of people do that, make their weekly offerings and have an altar set up and all of that stuff. You see my altar here and all of that stuff. But the truth is I only see Lucifer in the sky. Okay. And if I'm doing an evocation or something like that, I mean, he's come to me in evocations and, one-on-one visits. I've talked about those. But at this point, for me, he's in the sky. Okay. He doesn't need to manifest as a person because I can channel him through here. Okay. I don't need to try to conjure him up inside my ritual chamber because he's already in there. Lilith is in here too. They are a part of my being. Going through possessions and stuff like that on the current, they become a part of you. I talked about that. What's up, Jojo? I see you popping in there. He's probably at work. So yeah, I'm gonna open up for a couple more questions. How long have I been on? About 35 minutes. Okay. Open up for a few more questions, and then I'll just start talking about some more things. Okay, we'll roll into some more stuff. I'll give you guys a chance to ask a few more questions. If you don't got one, then I'll just keep rolling. So, we talked about patron deities. We talked about evocation, invocation. Okay, the spell work. Okay, and I've talked about this before in many of these other lives. The spell work. What should the spell work be? What should you be saying? Most grimoires, most magic spell books, most occult teachers, esoteric crap you're going to come into is going to tell you, I open the gates of the something or rather, or I'm opening the dimensions of the whatever, and you're talking about all this mystical, mythical stuff. These gates, these realms, these dimensions, and stuff like that. But the truth is the conscious mind has no way of fathoming those types of things. This is something that's infinite, and we're trying to comprehend opening it, okay, with conscious mind. Now, that's kind of absurd, okay? And some people might not agree with this. I don't care. It's absurd because the subconscious mind is what does those things, all right? The subconscious mind is what does those things, and it does it automatically. Okay, it knows how to connect to the universe. It's intelligent. It knows the stuff that you don't know already. It's connected to the infinite, right? So you saying that you're going to open some kind of gate or something, you're just saying it to yourself, okay? You're not actually getting it into the subconscious mind. You're just saying it to yourself. You're just saying it out loud, okay? If you really wanted to do something like that, The correct route with the spell work would be to say things to yourself. Okay? You could say it to yourself. You shouldn't be talking out to the outside. You should be talking to yourself. Okay? And I talk about this a lot. That's why I have a whole chapter in both of my books called the I spell. Okay? Not the I, but the I spell. I am. Okay? Is a very powerful statement. I am. What are you? What is I? Okay? And when you start to evaluate that, that's when you get to asking those really deep questions and tapping into the universal, okay, and opening those doors. The mind already knows how to do that stuff, so you should be telling yourself what you want to experience instead of I'm opening some door and whatever, or just rambling off random magical spells. I mean, if you want to honor a spirit with some type of poem or something like that, that's beautiful. Okay, that's art. That's what this is all about. It's an art. Okay, so that's fantastic. But to really have magical phenomena occur, and we're talking about seeing, feeling spirits and stuff like that, you need to be giving yourself the right commands, which is, I want to see spirits. I want to feel spirits. I want to have a spirit appear in this room, and I'm going to be able to feel it, see it, hear it, whatever, you know. And you need to be saying those things to yourself and not just mumbo jumbo. Okay? So let's see. I've got a comment popping up here. I've actually never done that with Lucifer. LOL, I just talk out loud like to a friend, and offerings are a token of my love and appreciation. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? Love is such a powerful emotion. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? But again, that falls into just making offerings, and just that falls into that category of just lighting candles in the dark. Okay? We want to get away from that. We want the occult to be practical, usable, real magic. Okay? We don't want to be doing the same thing Christians and everyone else is doing by sitting around wishing and hoping and praying and loving. Okay? We want to go out and be able to have magic that's usable. We need a tool that's usable to get the things that we desire. Okay? Magic is the art of causing change in accordance with will. That means you need to desire something and go out to reach that goal. Joseph, mirror work involves speaking to yourself in third person and can be helpful in triggering things to shift. Also helpful for people that have issues mentally speaking to themselves and subconsciously accepting it. Yeah, the mirror work is good for that. Third person, I'm not so sure about. Okay, I get it. I get what you're saying. So, yes and no. Okay? With the third person stuff, it's good if you use it in the context of what I mentioned in the Zoom. Okay? I'm not going to talk about it here on the live because it's one of my secret techniques. But those of you that have been on the Zooms kind of know some of the stuff I was talking about. And I gave a method of how you could do self-trance and self-work, okay? And sort of have that third person talking to yourself, okay? Now, the other thing is the mirror work is good, okay? But only if you're doing it in the context of like talking directly to yourself. The mirror makes it seem like you might be talking to someone else, okay? But it's good if you use it and realize that it's a representation of the subconscious. So if you have that mindset going in, it can work for you and be very powerful. So you could say like the mirror image is you, subconscious, and I'm talking to you, and that could work very well for you. Okay? Has anyone tried anything like that before? I know everybody has black mirrors and stuff like that. I talked about how to use the black mirror. I'll cover that again if you guys want, but is anyone trying any mirror work and stuff like that? I know everyone has them, but what are you doing with it besides letting it just sit there and be decoration? I'm very curious. So I'd like to hear what people are up to. I think I missed some comments. Nope, we are all caught up. Joseph, hey, listening and watching for the church guy. Man, you still dodging that dude, huh? What's up, Larry? I don't know if he's still on here. I see you. What's up, dude? Yeah, so use the mirror, okay? Use it. Don't just let it sit there for no reason, okay? It can be a way for you to talk to your subconscious, okay? A way for you to have a visual representation of it. It can be a doorway to the other world. I like to think of it as a window when it's the black mirror, which is what you should be seeing. um, it should be a window. Right now, you can see something reflecting in it, but that's only because I have the overhead lights on my ceiling on, which is causing it to reflect the things that are behind me or in front of me. Okay, so if I turn those off, it's nothing. Okay, you can't see anything. It's solid black. Even when I'm sitting in front of it, it's above my eye level. Okay, so that nothing reflects in the mirror. You shouldn't have anything reflecting in your black mirror. It should be like a window into the other world. The psychomantium, and I talked about this before, the psychomantium comes from ancient Greece. Okay, it was actually a ceremony that they used to do. They used to do normally, where when you had a loved one that passed or something, you could go out to the psychomantium, which was like off in the mountains or somewhere where monks lived, and they would walk you through a maze in the dark. Okay, down into this underground tunnel, and then you get into a dark room, and in the middle of the room, they would have a big body of water or a big reflective like oil in there or surface or something like that, and then they would host a seance and they would summon your dead relative for you to have conversations with them. Okay, this is where the idea of the black mirror, the psychomantium, comes from. Okay, it was not something that people used to conjure demons or anything like that. It actually comes from people trying to talk to their dead relatives and hosting seances. Um, I just did, Danielle. I just covered the black mirror for you. Sharonda, I don't have one. Make one. Okay. Erica, you can make your own. Okay. I have always made my own. Never bought one, even though people think that's the thing to do nowadays. It's just buy shit. I made that. So take your butt to Dollar Tree or a dollar store. I mean, you're in America. Yeah, go to Dollar Tree or something. One of those real dollar stores where they only charge you $1 and get a photo frame. All right. One of those, just any good photo frame. I found a nice black one. Okay, if you find one with edges or something, you could engrave shit around it if you want to, but you don't need that stuff, of course. And then get you a can of flat black spray paint. And then you're gonna go outside with some newspaper and paint one side of that glass, completely flat black. Give it a couple coats so it's nice, good, thick black you can't see through. Put it back in the frame with the opposite side you painted facing forward, and you got a black mirror. You can get whatever shape, whatever design you like. Okay, nothing to it. Yeah, I told Joseph about that many moons ago. The TV and all of that stuff, to be used as black mirrors. So yeah, everyone's got flat screen TVs. Turn a fucking TV off, and you got a giant black mirror. People don't think about that either. But I like to have mine being something different, because what happens with my mind is because I have such a vivid and active imagination. Um, is I start watching TV on my fucking on the TV when it's off. So I can't use my TV as a black mirror. Hang on, let me scroll down. Erica, I bought a picture frame and took it apart. Took the glass and painted it. Yep. Danielle, yeah, totally. That's exactly it. That's how you make them. Yeah. I learned that when I was like 11 years old. I was like going and buying spray paint, and making black mirrors and stuff. I've had that one since I was a kid. Same exact mirror. Okay. At one point, when I was like super bashful about the occult and stuff like that, I used to just put a picture in front of it, okay, in front of the glass. So you'd actually see the picture in front of the glass, and then I could just take the picture off, and there was my black mirror, okay? Double sided tape, and no one would ever know you were practicing witchcraft. Um, that's how I hid it in my mom's house for many years. Jira, I made mine as well, really cheap to make and very powerful tool to work with. Yeah, it is. But you got to use it right. Okay. Got to know how the psychomantium works. And I'll touch on it just a little bit, how to set it up and make it work the right way. You need it to be above your eye level. Okay. Above your eye level. Nothing can be reflecting in it. Okay. So if you have some stuff on your ceiling or something like that, mine's white. It's just a flat white. So it works perfect. Put a cloth up. Okay. A black cloth, something flat, black, flat color where you have nothing reflecting. Okay. If the mirror is going to reflect, it's going to reflect that cloth. It's going to show nothing. Okay. And then what you want to do is sit in front of it. Have your light source, a very low light source. So a candle, just one. Sit it behind you. Okay. Don't sit it in front of you, in front of the mirror. Okay. Sit it behind you. Okay, so you're sitting here, candles behind me, making a very low sort of light in the room in general, and then you work with your mirror. The mirror should start to literally look like a hole in space when you get in the right setting. It's hard to get complete darkness nowadays because we have so many electronics that give off little stupid fucking lights. So you need total darkness. Okay, you need total darkness, and then you need to set up just that one little light source behind you, low to the floor. Okay, and make sure nothing's reflecting, and then work with the mirror. It'll, when you get the right setting, it's going to look like a hole in space. Okay, that's why the black mirror and the psychomantium works so well, because it gives your subconscious mind something to grab onto. It automatically wants to put something in that space. Okay, so if you get a really big one that's the size of a door, you know, a demon could walk right through it. All right, Jojo, catch you later. He's got to run. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So I hope I helped you guys, okay, with some tips, some tricks, some insider knowledge. Get a fucking book of shadows, man, and write notes. Start journaling. No, okay, I don't journal all the time every day. Actually, I'm lying because now I'm doing these lives. I am journaling every fucking day, okay? Um, you got to have those memories, dude. You got to be able to tap into that subconscious. The other thing is you find your triggers by journaling, by writing in your book of shadows and writing your feelings and stuff. You'll find what triggers you. Okay, you find out stuff about yourself that you never even noticed before. One of the things that someone was talking about, I can't remember who, but it's a way that people talk. Okay, when you write something down, it comes out usually the way that you speak. And some people do this thing where they try to justify everything that they say instead of giving a command. Okay? So they'll say something like, I'm just trying to explain, you know, when you could say, I'm trying to explain. They say, I'm just trying to explain, and they try to justify why they're explaining. Okay? Um, you have to learn what's a command, what's a, how you speak. You'll learn what kind of person you are. Why are you apologizing for explaining yourself? Okay? You're just. Why are you just? Okay? You can say just fine. Look, I'm explaining this. Okay, we're doing this. You don't have to say I'm just doing this because I just want to explain. Let me try to do. You know, trying is not succeeding. Trying sets you up for failure. Okay, so that's all I'll say about that. But it lets you learn some very interesting things about yourself. Okay, and it will also increase your intellect beyond belief, because when you start writing the same word over and over and over again, and it's a funny thing that happens in English class is you learn people start sentences all the time with and but then, and that type of stuff is the stuff you'll start to realize, like, why do I write and at the beginning of every sentence, stuff like that, helps you grow your intellect and learn and become more intelligent. Okay. um if you had that mirror for that long, it must be practically able to shock you with energy. Yeah. There's nothing practical about it. That fucker is it's definitely a superpower. And funny thing is I always try to figure out it's like when I move into a new place, I always try to figure out why weird shit starts to happen. And it started to click, like, oh, I keep dragging all the same magical shit with me everywhere I go. So that kind of triggers stuff. Especially like crystals and stuff, because crystals are electric energy. Okay, these crystals are literally I have amethyst and I have quartz. This is a quartz, and then I have salt crystals also. Okay, which are rose salt. But these suckers are just super duper powerful. It's got some candle wax on there, but they're powerful. I mean, it's stuck to my altar. Jeez, I got candle wax sticking everything to the altar over there. So this is a rose salt crystal. Okay, it's also, every crystal is quartz. A lot of people don't know that. But this is a rose salt quartz. Okay, and they are just literally electric energy. You could actually take a lot of people don't know this. You could take a quartz crystal and find your power box in your house. Duct tape a fucking quartz to your power box in your house, and your electricity bill will lower by like $50 or $60. Okay, and you probably have the electric company coming to check your meter and see what the fuck's going on. So you just take the crystal off when they get there and put it back on when they leave. A lot of people don't know about that. Don't tell them I told you. But yeah, totally. If you put in you get a big enough quartz about this size, okay. And this is bigger than a golf ball. I guess you can kind of tell with me holding it on my hand. Bigger than a golf ball, but not quite the size of a baseball. Tape it to your power box, right where that line goes out, and watch your electric bills go down. Thanks, Rev Avi. He's saving me money already. Only when you switch to Geico. But yeah, so any questions on any of that stuff, guys? I mean, you guys should have crystals and stuff like that. Crystals are energy. Okay, you need as many of those suckers around as you can get. I have so many crystals, I can't even count them all. Like, well, I could, but I'm not going to. That and pyramids. I talked about pyramid frequency a lot. A lot of people don't know about pyramid frequency, but it is the healing frequency. Okay, it is the manifestation frequency of 9. So you should get pyramids around it, and I have several of them. I have one for money. Here is my money pyramid, and it is rather small, but you can see it's got that gold money bag in there because we need bags. Just kidding. But I got one for money. I got one for earth. Let me show you my earth pyramid. This is my earth pyramid. And then it's got seashells and stuff in there. Little stuff. But my earth water pyramid, because earth and water flow together. But yeah, pyramids give off a actual frequency of themselves. They channel energy, and they help you to focus energy. Okay, so when you're creating the circle, the magic circle, casting that circle, what you're actually doing is creating a spiraling energy. Okay, and if you're going left, it goes up. If it goes right, it's coming down. Okay, but it creates that spiraling energy. All right, pyramids always do this. So you would have a constant generator of energy. All you have to do is just sit it on your altar, have it in your house somewhere, and it's always going to be generating energy. And you can put your thoughts inside of there. Okay, you can put whatever you want inside of there, and it's always going to generate that frequency. Okay, so that's very, very powerful. I actually recommend in my book creating a ritual pyramid space, and a lot of books don't talk about this. But the idea of the evocation triangle, the triangle of art, is literally a 2-dimensional pyramid. That's the whole point of that thing. That's why you got to make it, 3 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet, because that makes it the perfect angle, which is 45 degrees. Okay. You're going to make it the perfect angle, 3 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet, which is 9. Okay. And it makes a 2-dimensional pyramid frequency. So that's what the triangle of art is. It's just a pyramid. Okay, that's why they had so much power in Egypt, because they had pyramids, giant ones. All right. So, and I mean, of course, when they had stones and crystals and stuff, I mean, they made the entire pyramid of Giza out of electrically conductive stones on purpose. Okay. But anyway, that's enough on that. You should have a ritual or meditation pyramid space. Okay, you should have pyramids in your house. I can't recommend that enough. If you don't know about this, in the file section, it's still there right now, but I'm deleting them, is a book. It's by Spunkins. I think it is called Pyramid Power, if I'm not mistaken. And it's all about this scientist that figured out that the pyramids were giving off a frequency. And this was back in, I think, the 60s or something like that. And he was really popular. He has a few different items out right now that are just super duper unique. But yeah, so there's a whole book about it. Okay. So with that said, guys, I have been on for almost an hour now. Okay. So I'm going to wrap it up. Any last questions before I head out? All right. I'm going to take that as a no. All right, guys, much love. I will see you in the next one. Keep it live.